Ahoy there. Greetings and salutations. Welcome to flight 714 to Honolulu. Aloha on Pacific Airlines. God, it's been a while. So much going on in the world. Hard to breathe at the moment, everything's just crazy. Like just that slow down and breathe concept. Where's that gone? Jump aboard, groovers. Oh, my seat's a bit far back. I vacuumed my car last night. Jump aboard, people. Oh. So I'm a bit flummoxed. I've had so much going on. I've led a lot of funerals, sadly, including my Auntie Ange last week. My sister's really sick. Actually had a few people that are pretty sick at the moment that I'm helping a bit. It's pretty rough, like you get ill, but you're not like super, super sick. But you live on your own, you don't really qualify for any home care or anything like that. So some friends and I are putting together some rosters because we've got two friends in that position at the moment and trying to cook them meals and keep them company and do their housework and put around in their gardens. And my place, as a result, is a nightmare. It's like I want someone to come and, it's a nightmare by my standards, which is, I haven't vacuumed yet this week. It's only Tuesday. Little robo-vac might go around. But I'm also really mindful of Sunny because Sunny's got this bloody off-the-charts anxiety issue and she can't stand the sound of the vacuum cleaner or the robo-vac. And then I bought this little, sort of like an alternative to Dyson number, which part of it, was allegedly considered to be as good as, and it is really good. I've got to say, like, don't buy Dysons. The thing I've got is, it looks tinny and crappy. It doesn't have as big a canister for holding all the crap that it sucks up, so you do empty it a little bit more, but it's just as good. But it's really flimsy plastic and doesn't look very strong. But anyway, the reason apparently it was really quiet, and I thought, well, at least if I get a quiet one, that might keep Sunny a bit more calm. Well, I don't know how people define the word quiet. And it's high pitched too. It's like, whee! So yeah, I feel like I need a roster for someone to look after my place while I'm looking after all these other people. I've got my best friend, my oldest friend from childhood, the one who lives in San Diego. She's home next week, and she likes to be kept busy and likes projects, and said she'll help me with anything. And part of me is like, awesome. I've got a working bee. Like, she just wants to potter around. We love hanging out together and stuff and just doing something while we're chatting. So I think we'll be I've got a project. I've got a room that I want to set up as a dedicated YouTube office, sort of second spare bedroom, all in one sort of thing. And also even like a little snug for winter, like a little cozy room that you can heat really quickly. And hey, Kylie. But I was looking at my bathroom tiles this morning and I was like, vacuum them. And I was like, they can wait till you get home. But I've always got this view of, what if I die today and someone goes to my house? They're going to see that my bathroom tiles are immaculate. And Yanka, hello. Double shot coffee needed. Yeah, I worked on my own yesterday. I worked from home, which was lovely. But I was the only one on, and it's really hard because you've already got a full calendar yourself, but then there's people calling the service and people lodging web inquiries, and I don't know, just the worker bee in me. I can't not do some of that stuff as well, but it ends up just being this really busy day. And yeah, if anyone asks me any favors today, I'm going to be like, actually, you many. So ask not. And we've got a new girl starting today, and she's going to be full time. She's an intern, which is awesome. So that's going to be cool. We've got like a welcome morning tea for her. So that'll be yummy, I guess. Hi, Ruth. Meals for you, gorgeous. I made karaage chicken the other day. Like, whenever I go to a Japanese restaurant, I always have karaage chicken. If I get a bento box, it's got to have karaage chicken in it. I finally made it myself, and it was fucking amazing and really easy. Really, really, really easy. And it was a good thing to make for one of my friends who's not well because she doesn't have an appetite really, but sort of healthy little snack bowls she's kind of able to eat. Um, and so the karaage chicken, I put like, heated it up and put like 4 pieces in and some Kewpie mayo and some spring onions. That was it. But she ate the lot. Whereas if I cooked her up a, meat and 3 veg kind of meal, she'd probably eat 3 or 4 mouthfuls of the veg and maybe 1 mouthful of the meat, and that'd be it. Oh, I can't read lowercase, so I don't think I'm ignoring you, Anyanka, but my phone is far, far away from my face where it should be. But also, even though I'm wearing, God, it's really sunny in my eyes. I was so excited getting prescription sunglasses. I thought they would make these drives easier, but they don't. Um, if the sun's in my face at all, it's no. Oh, did you say something about vacuuming every day and catting? Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, my house is actually turning into a giant ball of fluff because, bless Sunny, she's had not one but 2 really bad um, declines in her health, and it's to do with anxiety. And I've been trying to minimise it, and I've got a hardcore fell-away thing coming because the standard fell-away won't even touch the sides with her. Her anxiety is so off the charts. It's her last day of meds for the second round, and the first time she came off the meds, she was great for like 2 days and then went downhill again. And I had a consult with the vet, and we went through all of the things that you can do to minimise our anxiety. And the whole time I'm sitting there thinking, I've got to clean the house. Like, don't tell me, cats are scared of vacuums. I know they are. But I also have a really fluffy cat who bolts the equivalent of her every day. Plus, I've got long hair. Like, between us, um, there's a fair bit of hair, and I said to the vet, I've got to continue to exist in my home and maintain a standard that I can handle. Like, I don't enjoy cooking dinner and noticing sunny hair floating around in the kitchen while I'm cooking. It's not ideal. And I've been sweeping, but vacuums get it up. Sweeping just, I mean, apart from the hairs that stick to the broom, the rest of them are just basically redistributed around the house. I might get some of them up, but so yeah, I've got a couple of days off coming up tomorrow and Thursday. I've got an appointment on Thursday, but I've got an appointment tomorrow too. But other than that, I'm just going to have to crank up the vacuum, and it's going to be her first day off the meds. And I'm like, well, I can't, I can't bear it, man. We've got to coexist. I know you don't like the vacuum, but I don't like eating your hair. We have to find middle ground here so we can coexist in this home. I mean, I've already had to like give up listening to music at a noise level, the volume level that I like. You know, there's bloody YouTube soothing music for cats with anxiety playing all the fucking time. I can't have, large gatherings of people anymore. It's just, it's not her fault. I feel so sorry for her. And I feel guilty because I'm the one that put her in the cat hotel the week the bathroom was renovated. But there was no way I was leaving her there with the builders and me not there, and a big gaping hole in the bottom of the house that would have, in the bathroom, that would have helped her escape. And she hasn't been the same since. Well, she's going off the gabapentin today. She's got one last dose this afternoon. The vet is reluctant to medicate her long term. But the thing is, too, with the gabapentin, like, as much as it's helped, she's still not really herself. I love bento boxes. What else do you do for your? Is your cat just medicated? Is that it, or are you doing all the other crazy shit? Because I've even been sent home with some medicated food, and she'll eat like a teaspoon of it, but then that's it. Like I tried one; they're only tiny little tins, but I'd given her a couple of teaspoons out of this tin, and I was like, oh well, she's eating it. So I gave the rest of the tin, and she just turned her nose up and walked off. So it's medicated food. There's soothing YouTube music. There's the comfort fell away on its way at some ghastly price. There's minimised noise that might cause her anxiety. I'm tiptoeing around this little tiny cat that I adore, who's turning my house into a giant furball. I'm over exaggerating. It's not that bad, but I'm very pedantic about vacuuming and sweeping and mopping and stuff like that, and I always have been. And to try and help her recover, I've had to really minimise any noises in the house that she doesn't like. But it's now at a point where I'm like, this house will turn into a furball. And it's frustrating because you get it all fully cleaned and then she turned a corner again, like went downhill again. And so we're back in the same place we were. It's tough. It's really tough. You've got a friend who puts their cat in a sleep. Well, this is, I mean, I kind of want to empower her in her anxiety journey, like I don't want to coddle her to the point that everything about my existence is, I mean, I've got fucking anxiety. What's she doing for me? I'm now getting anxious about the bathroom tiles. I'm telling you a story. It's so hard. I mean, look, if all these sort of holistic, they're not even holistic, but these alternative attempts to minimise her anxiety don't work, I'm just going to be like, let's just medicate her, because I mean, it kind of sucks if she's not as smoochy or affectionate as she is when she's not on meds. Like, she is a different cat. Like, she's not anxious, I guess, or it's minimised, but her sort of gorgeous, smoochy, friendly personality is just minimised now. You have anxiety about vet bills. Oh, they upsell like there's no tomorrow. I've actually found a friend of mine put me onto her, and she's an holistic vet. She does use both Western and Eastern medicine, but she does house calls. And if Sunny takes another turn after she comes off the gabapentin today, or tonight is the last dose, um, I'm going to get her in just to discuss how we can coexist and what options there are. But, you know, if her being medicated ends up being the best option for her, but it's just sad because it has kind of dulled her personality a lot. Adjust the dose, high dose for pain, low dose for anxiety. She was with the meds. The best meds were actually like when she ended up with the inflamed bladder and the um, blood in the bladder and wee and all of that sort of stuff. The pain relief that had a sedative in it was really good, um, and calmed her down a lot. But I'm just nervous that, you know, the last time she came off the meds, we had 2 days of Sunny back. She was zooming around the house and playing and just having the best time. And then it started again. When she gets used to meds, her personality will return. Yeah, they might even minimise, like it might only be half a gabapentin tablet a day or something. I don't know. It's hard, isn't it? And I feel fucking awful because this all happened after she had that 10 days at the cat hotel. Um, and the more I think about dropping her off there, and her little room wasn't ready yet, and not being able to say goodbye to her, and what she was like when I went to pick her up. And I mean, I didn't have a choice, but it doesn't make me not feel guilty, you know? I mean, we both had to be out of the house. We had no bathroom. And I couldn't get a pet sitter because how can you ask someone to be a pet sitter and stay at your house, but you don't even have a bathroom they can use? You know, like, who's going to do that? And then having to sort of barricade up the house so Sunny didn't get out through the bathroom, that wasn't viable. Hey, Cement Shoes, how are you, mate? Good to see you. So, like, even my plans to paint the bathroom after the new tiles and everything have been done, I was like, okay, we'll give the bathroom a facelift and paint it. But because she's so triggered by the tiniest change at the moment, I've had to put that on hold. I've got a new oven arriving probably this week or next week, and that's going to have to be put in. And the my plumber's going to have to put a gas connection across to it, and so I'm going to have tradies at my house again. Oh, but she never used to be fussed by that sort of stuff. You know, even the guy that comes and sprays the house, like the pest guy, he's got like this organic spray, so we can both be safely there and it doesn't hurt animals or humans. But even with Clutch walking around the house with his, looks like a bloody beekeeper and his little squirty spray thing, he just like give him a kiss and just roll around on the floor and not a care in the world. But now, she's freaked out about 6 new tiles in the bathroom and what to do. People come over and like don't knock, don't move fast. So look at it. Right, I'm going to be accelerating shortly. We can have a chat when I get to the car park. I haven't even talked about what I wanted to, which is all the fucking crazy shit on YouTube, the sensitive, morbid, and the arrogant glare, and God Almighty. There's like this tiny little cluster of people that have a lot of people watching them, and it's just hours of what are you men doing? Is that Faruka's salty salt I see in the chat? How are you? I've really not been on YouTube much. I mean, even Finn and I, when we tried to do batshit on Sunday night, we postponed it because I had my auntie's funeral on Thursday, and then my sister has COVID and she's really, really sick, and she's still testing positive like 8 days into it. Oh, maybe not 8, but today will be day 7, I think. And she was my auntie's goddaughter. She was named after Auntie Ange. Auntie Ange was my mum's best friend. So my Ange wasn't able to go to her funeral, which was just awful. And she's been so sick and so sad. And I just said to Finn, I can't, mate. There's just too much going on right now. I can't find the energy. Sorry. And then on top of that, I've had Sunny being sick and I've got some sick friends. And, it's just life. I'm not asking for sympathy or anything. Life is always challenging. Oh, the dick pic. I know. Well, that was one of the things I want to talk about. But yeah, I'm going to focus on the freeway for the moment. The dick pic. Gross. I don't even like being sent dick pics when I'm in a relationship. And I definitely don't send snatch pics. Like, looking at a photo of an erect dick, who gives a fuck? Like, don't men realise it's how they make us feel? It's how their penises make us feel that matters. I don't freaking look at a photo of a dick and go, oh my God. Like, ugh. And I get it. Some people love them. If they request them, well, if that floats your boat, if it trips your trigger, go for it. But ew. And I don't think, I mean, men are so visual. I get why men like looking at snatch pictures, but in the past when I had a request for one, I was like, I don't want to be that person that does it and then suddenly my hoo-ha is out there for everyone to see. Like, that's my reason too for not doing it. But I had a crack at trying to get some snaps, and it's not an easy thing to photograph well, you know. I mean, they might like it, but you know, like, nah, and I don't want it out there ever. They're called private parts for a reason. And I know I'm sounding like a prude, but I just don't get excited seeing a photo of a guy's dick. I care about how it makes me feel when it's doing what it's designed to do. And I've been sent more than my fair share of dick pics, and I've never once asked for one. And I'm not going to get all bloody uptight about it, unsolicited dick pics, but I don't know why they just like, I know what I'm going to do. They fucking take a photo of my erect dick and I'm going to take a photo and you can see that I'm naked, but I'm still wearing socks. Major turn off. Or I'm going to take the photo in the bathroom so you're going to get a bit of a shot of my toilet in the background. Gross. I can't stand real estate photos of houses and they show toilets in the photos. Like, toilets are fucking toilets. Unless it's some, I don't know, award-winning fucking toilet that has some incredible design that you can't even really tell it's a toilet. Maybe that. But other than that, no one needs to see photos of toilets. Like, back in the day when I used to look for houses to rent, if there was a photo of the toilet, I'd instantly be like, yuck. Or I'd see the toilet, I'd be like, there's no way I'm renting that joint. You know, but guys that take selfies in using the mirror, like, why haven't people worked out that their phones, they can point their phone at their face. They don't have to stand in front of the fucking mirror and point the camera at the mirror to get a photo of themselves. They still fucking do that shit. But yeah, if you take a photo of yourself in the bathroom and your toilet's in the photo, that is disgusting. Especially if the lid is up. I can't stand. I mean, I'm not. The seat being up too. Well, that's another issue again. I actually don't get upset when men leave the seat up. I mean, we don't flick it back up for them, so don't get uptight about them not putting it back down for us. But generally speaking, the seat and the lid being up to me, and just even the lid, can't stand that. I don't want to look in people's toilets. Japanese all close their lids because they have a belief that if you leave the lid up, it lets money flow out of your house. It's like a feng shui thing that I learnt about when I was in college. And from that point on, my lid is always down in my house. But yeah, whenever I go into a house and you can, like, the bathroom door's open and you can see the loo and the lid is up, gross. Someone stole the good toilet out of Winston Churchill's house. But what about Morbid buying a bidet for that woman? The amount of money he spent on that woman. Unbelievable. All the tickets to Disneyland and to bloody, was it Universal Studios, the Halloween show, whatever it was, and he installed a friggin' bidet and put in block out curtains or blinds or whatever. I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, it's one thing to, spend a little bit of money on someone when you first meet them, get a bit of the romance happening, but wow, he went way above and beyond. Didn't work out for him either. Lids need to stay down, it keeps the germs in. The woman in front of me is an end of life doula. There's a lot of people doing that shit now. I don't want a doula hovering around me when I'm about to cark it. Thank you. Like, what if they're really annoying and they smell of patchouli and they're wearing some giant crystal that they keep waving over you? I'd be like, get this fucking doula out of here. So please, nobody organise a doula for me. I mean, apologies to all the doulas out there, but, if you get offended by me not wanting one, but I'm sure there's plenty of people that are into you, but I don't want some random bloody person flitting around, doulaing me, whatever the fuck they do. I'm quite happy to leave this planet without some rando with a feather in her hair just hovering and saying stuff that doesn't resonate. Just let me die in peace. Go sing Kumbaya to somebody else. And the birthing doulas as well. I mean, I know it's a thing. Good on them. There's plenty of people out there that like the idea of the doula. Me, no. So no one's reacted to my doula comments. You all doulas or something. I know some in church is a doula. But yeah, how's that true crime community? What? Fuck. Aren't they a great bunch? I've got to do an update on this channel on the mushroom lady too. She's she's already put a house, one of her portfolio properties on the market. She's got some pretty hefty legal bills she's got to pay. Um, she's kind of just sitting in jail for like 6 months till her hearing in May or April or whenever it is. But I want to do a live. There's stuff going on with our mushroom buddy Aaron Patterson. I mean, that's really the only news. Well, I'm going to just do a bit of a recap of what actually happened when she was in court and the magistrate getting really pissed off. It's pretty good stuff. Uh, but also, yeah, she's chucked one of her properties on the market because, got to pay your lawyers somehow. Apparently, she's going to get about $1 million for that one, so that'll cover the bill. But basically, with this channel, I'm I have been doing a lot of work for it behind the scenes. In the new year, I'm pretty much getting on with the idea I've got for this channel, but I want to build up a bank of content. So I've been making some videos, and I've got some really good cases that I'm covering, and they're pretty fun. The ones that I've done so far, like they've been fun to make, and so next year I'll be able to schedule the videos. I mean, the idea is to do one video, one live a week, maybe two lives. I'm not sure yet, but this will be my most focused channel. The Australian Controversial Drama channel needs to be cranked up to discuss a bit more about the dick pic saga of 2023. I don't know why people are shocked about that. I mean, people have been saying for years that the Glare is a fan of sending photos of his cock. It didn't come as a shock to me that he actually does that. I mean, he looks like the sort of guy that does it. Why is everyone so surprised? And it was common knowledge. But it amazes me in a country as big as the United States, and how many people there are, that this little sort of weird online community is so small and so close that you've got, a creator sending a dick pic to another creator who dated another creator. Got creators suing each other. But I mean, at the end of the day, if you look at that community, I'm not talking about subscribers, but just the creators. It's like a dozen people, and they're so fucking incestuous. It's like there's millions of people wandering the planet. Why are you all getting so into each other? Like, look outside YouTube for your loves. You're glad you didn't see it. You've been through enough in one lifetime. YouTube is so weird. It's fucking ridiculous. It is such a small. I mean, all the communities that I've bounced around in combined wouldn't even make 1,000 people. I mean, that again. Well, maybe with subs included, it might be 2,000, but it's like a small country town. You can. I mean, I'm subscribed to a lot of channels that most people don't even know exist, and I seem to be spending more time on them if I'm listening to anything these days. But I still have to keep an eye on the community from whence I first came. I think it's hilarious how Glera and Morbid are having a little spat and the bromance is over. Well, who didn't predict that? I mean, I was horrified that Morbid even indulged the Glare as much as he did because, and I mean, there's a whole new audience for Morbid, but those of us that, and I didn't know him back when he was Jiminam, but I've been watching him since he was Misery, and I never thought he would pal up with somebody like the Glare. Like, it came as a huge shock to me. And they were so ride or die about each other too. It was, I kind of got the bro girling, or the fan broing from Glera, but I couldn't work out what Morbid was doing. I mean, those of you who remember the Misery days, he was almost like this was almost like a cult, and sort of not that many people knew about him in the sort of wider community. I mean, his true crime stuff that he used to do was so fucking good. And yeah, not many people really knew him. I mean, he had all of his trolls have never left him alone. But the Misery days were fabulous. And weirdly, I don't even remember the Glare being around. I mean, he might have come along towards the end, but I don't remember. I mean, I knew who the Glare was, and I don't remember ever seeing him in Misery's chat. But I mean, the Glare sort of made Morbid a bit more commercial, which sucked in a way because all these newbies were discovering him and thinking he was awesome and the rest of it. And I don't know, it was more fun when not that many people from our broad community knew about him. Like, it was a place you could just go and have fun and not have to deal with all of the drama. And now it's bloody drama central. Yeah, the candle community. Oh, how the candle community is brutal. And they're also proprietary, thanks, mate, about it too. Like, I'm sorry, but if you've been on YouTube as long as I have, and it feels like fucking 500 years, the OG candle maker was Oni. And then J's for Justice tried to do candles for a while, and that died in the ass pretty quickly. But, you know, they were like, well, I've been making candles longer than you. I started making candles in 2021. Well, Oni was fucking making candles in 2018. House of Akasha. He was the OG candle making, and he already had that business before YouTube happened to him. Sweet and sour, the post-drama queens. What sucks though is if all Morbid's going to do now is talk about the Glare. Oh, he won't. I think he just needed to get it out of his system. Hopefully. I mean, he's very excited about interviewing Bullhorn Betty. I'm keen to listen to that. Morbid's actually a really good interviewer. Although he probably regrets interviewing that noodle chick, but he does actually do good interviews. Well, Morbid never used to be. I mean, back in the Misery days, he stood on his own. I mean, there was a lot of drama with his unrelenting trolls, but not a lot of drama, but there was shit going on, but he just did his own thing. And those of us who knew his story, but like I said, I mean, I used to put him on live driving home from work, and he'd play awesome music. And yeah, when he did his true crime stuff, like, he was so well researched, and the production values of the videos that he did, and he and his ex, Shipwreck Beck, did a lot of great stuff together. But they were the good old days. The problem with YouTube is you put someone like the Glare on the panel, and he brings all these people, and they overtake the chat, and it completely changes the vibe of the channel. Like, I was happy when Misery came back as Morbid because we missed him, but then you've got to tolerate all these new people that are finding him for the first time, and it became very commercial, and it was so much more fun when he was cult's not the word. You know, like when there's cult movies, you know, that movies that are really popular, but it's a small group really that are fully into them, that sort of stuff. The problem with sort of Morbid chatting about having the Glare up on there and talking about the tragedy pimps and stuff, it brought this whole audience, and it just all went very commercial. What's hilarious is I've been good friends with Cherry for years from a tiny British chat and had no idea that Glare exists. Oh, I knew that he existed because he's such a bullshitter. Um, he talks about how he's been on YouTube forever and doing all this stuff. He came into the true crime sort of scene and got straight into all the drama and would go live and jump up on every fucking panel he could and had all these opinions about shit, but he didn't do his research. He didn't know what he was talking about. In his early days, there are so many lives of him with people screaming at him and telling him he's wrong, and he just was so arrogant. And of course, I mean, he was sort of came into the whole YouTube world via Critical Case. I mean, immediately everyone was like, "Who's this wanker?" Like, sorry, but you don't get kudos for being Critical K's sidekick, but he popped up fucking everywhere. And I used to, whatever live I was watching, if he was standing up on panel, I just had to bail because I just couldn't handle it. And FOD used to have really good clips of him doing that shit. Like there was one with him and Mandy Bell talking about Jayers for Justice, and he was so naive about what was going on, and Mandy Bell was probably a few beers under the belt, was fully, laying into him, and rightly so. And he just wouldn't budge. He didn't want to learn the history or the background. He just decided he'd roll into this community and tell everyone what was going on, and nearly always got it wrong. And I mean, I've been really honest with you guys. Like, I used to put him on an edge to clean the bathroom because he used to piss me off so much that I'd clean the bathroom in 10 minutes flat. I'd get so irritated I'd bloody clean the bathroom at like turbo speed. Like, done. I only had to listen to that tweet for 10 minutes and here we are. He is really funny. He said he had a crack at stand-up and it didn't work, but when I first just sort of found him as a misery, I was like, this guy should be a comedian. But I want that personality to return. And when he used to launch Le Champion, that was bloody good viewing and listening. Oh, yeah, I don't know if I don't think, I mean, Morba doesn't need, he's got other channels on YouTube that are way bigger than this one. And, he doesn't need drama to make money or anything like that. I think he's genuinely upset. He's a little sensitive little dude. Declare it's the first channel got blocked and you're horrified. Oh, I know, and he doesn't exude any of the qualities that the Glare stands for, or very few of them. He needs to add UDPS to his initials, unsolicited dick pic sender. Well, on this occasion, Beck asked for it, but there had already been much talk of him sending unsolicited ones as well. So I'm trying to remember who the first chat I got blocked in. God, it was such a long time ago. I mean, I got blocked in Critical Case for, being a critical thinker and posing a question that was alternative to what she was saying. And I got blocked, and I thought that was so ironic. I'm probably blocked in the Glares because I get blocked in most echo chamber communities, though. When you pitch another opinion, even in the nicest possible way, you're pretty short-lived in those communities. AD was the first and only chat you've ever been blocked. Go cement tubes. I can't think who my first block was where that came. Oh, I think it might have been Makeup Mobster. And I wasn't actually I said something sarcastic and they didn't get it and I got blocked. And someone ended up begging her to unblock me. I think it was Makeup Monster. Usually, when I've been blocked, it's because I've been trying to be funny and people don't get my humour. I've got to be so careful of how I use sarcasm on other people's channel. Mind you, I haven't participated in chats or anything for a long time. I'm a pretty lazy YouTube subscriber these days. I used to love being involved in it, but a lot of chats are just overrun with people from one channel or one, well, yeah, just one channel, and I don't. I'm not going to sit in there and suck up to them so that they don't have a go at me. But yeah, if I speak up or if I say something sarcastic, I usually get. I'm pretty sure I'm blocked in the Glarers. CK threatened you with the kazoo. Another award to put on your mantelpiece, Sonyanka. I mean, when the chicken came out, you knew you were really in trouble, but the kazoo. Yeah, the humour barrier can be an issue. Oh, and I got blocked. One of my troll accounts is really lovely. And funny and sweet. And whenever she goes into, I mean, mind you, I haven't cranked her up for a while, but whenever she went into chats, people were always really happy to see her. But she was accused. She was accused of being FOD and got blocked once. I was gutted. I'm not fucking FOD. And FOD even came in and defended my troll and said it's not me. And they still blocked me. I've only ever used blocking for like hate speech and like even you guys even know back when the porn bombers were around, I used to laugh because they always had names like Richard Smythe, and Carol Bessinger, like these sort of really bland, well, they weren't quite bland names, but you know what I mean? Like they just have these Anglo-Saxon names and they'd be porn bombing. Terry Field. And I used to leave them in my chat because it cracked me up. I think channels who block people because they want an echo chamber, like as soon as you see that going on in the chat, it's like, I'm not bothering going back there. But I love a good heckle. I like listening to people who give me the shits so that I can come up with one-liners and heckle them back. And God forbid you ever go into a chat and say, actually, that's not what happened. We were all around when that happened and that's not what happened. That bloody B. Tim and, what's his name, Boston Nick, when they first appeared, they used to get so upset when people would say, actually, that's not what happened. And, I hate the OGs. I think they know everything. It's like, well, we do. We know more than you do. And we're just saying you got that bit wrong. We're not being pricks about it. We're just, if you're going to sit up on a panel and bullshit about stuff that half of us witnessed and we're pointing out your version's not accurate, then just be humble and go, okay, I need to do a bit more research, or thanks for filling me in on that. But they get all butthurt. No, I hate it when they talk about OG. Sucks. Well, no, this is the way it is. Sorry, you started school 5 years after we did, and we've been around and we've seen this shit for years. Get it right. Like, if you're going to call people out for being assholes, go for it, but don't bullshit about them when we all know the truth. Fucking take a step back and just find your way. There's so many creators that arrive on YouTube and like the Glera, who don't just take their time to sort of suss it all out and work out where they slot in, and just right from the start they're very opinionated about a lot of stuff, and a lot of what they say is wrong, and they've got, for some reason, hundreds of people watching them all believing it. I mean, everyone that sort of watches the glare and, oh, but we like him because he's hot. He's never, he's grossed me out from day one. I think he looks like he smells. My name for him has been Stinky Boy from the first time I saw him, which is all the more reason why I'm distressed at the thought of him sending out a dick pic. So annoyed and yelling. That's not what happened, but nobody cares, and it stresses. Yeah, we can't stress out our babies. Don't stress out the babies. If I'm listening to YouTube, I'm doing something else. Like, I've never been a person that can just sit and watch TV. And in more recent years, computer screens. Like, I have to be doing something to keep my hands busy as well. So I'm cleaning while I'm watching something, or I'm making something, or, back in the day when I watched the footy, I'd knit. I have to do something. I can't, I spend my day on a computer at work. I don't want to get home and be on my laptop all night chatting in YouTube community chats and with people who will never give a fuck about me, and I really shouldn't give a fuck about them either, but I do like listening to stuff. He is, and he's grubby. I mean, I'm going to sound like a snob, I know, but I'm not going to find a man in his 40s hot who's in a share house and who gave up his job at the gym to survive on his YouTube income. Like, what's hot about that? I haven't worked my ass off to get a house and set up a lifestyle that I wanted to hook up with some person who brings nothing into the relationship and then takes half of it with them when they leave. Stinky Baby Gap is such a funny nickname for him. Was it Laura who came up with Baby Gap? Who started Baby Gap? Whoever started it deserves a medal because that was spot on. Somebody needs to tell Morbid he's got to take the bloody awful white boy dancing gifts off of the glare when people super chat him or join memberships or whatever. I found that funny when he was exposing the glare and people were sending, I don't know if it's super chats or when they become members, but Pops the Glare doing his bad white boy dancing. Get rid of it, Morbid. Can someone tell him? Keep Jimmy falling down the stairs because that will always be a classic. But it was kind of funny that he's so upset with the glare, and every time someone rewarded Morbid for talking about it, the fucking glare pops up doing his bad dancing. And even that, even the people that were like, oh, but he's so good looking. Look at how he dances. It's fucking awful. The worst. I think he thinks he's looking pretty, sexy when he's dancing. But my definition of sexy is very different. But yeah, someone let Morbid know he needs to delete that little video gify thing because yuck. So what else has been happening? I've got a few more minutes. I'm just doing my face at the moment. Well, Critical K was sort of, she did a podcast. So when the Watts freak decided to annihilate his beautiful family, initially my source of information and conversations about it was on Facebook. There were quite a few groups, but I ended up in the group that Jayers for Justice and Critical K were in. And then the two of them started a podcast, Murder Rap Set, and it was on a platform that they'd go live and like YouTube, and you could chat. And that's where I met Oni. And it was actually quite a fun community. But the whole time I used to listen to them, I'd think these two are going to have a huge fight one day because they're just not even hiding the fact that they're pissing each other off. And I was a bit bored with the Facebook stuff. In fact, I got booted out of the Facebook group again for trying to be a critical thinker, and Critical K got someone who's now a friend of mine to boot me out. And when we sort of reconnected after all of that drama, she apologised profusely, but Kay had ordered her to remove me. So I kind of, I mean, they had their podcast, and I could sense tension and an impending explosion, which did happen. But prior to that, I went to YouTube, and the first person I found was Grey Hughes, and I found him very good for insomnia. I used to fall asleep to him. Thorough, but long and monotone at times. And that's also when I discovered Molly Golightly, who had about 3,000 subs. And she was fucking batshit insane and brilliant train wreck listening. So I was bumping around over there. And then the Murder Rap Sesh podcast blew up, which we all saw coming. Well, I did. And J and K declared war on each other. And the next thing, J at that time, I don't know if K was yet, started a YouTube channel. And because of the podcast and even the Facebook group, and out of the two of them, I preferred J, although Kay loved my sense of humour in the podcast. She always reacted to my jokes and stuff. But I ended up being a mod for J. But that was short-lived because I gave Laura a $10 super chat and got booted out of Jay's mod squad. But in hindsight, probably the best $10 I'd ever spent, because all kinds of shite went down. As some of you know, the private mod chats got put out, the cunt book stuff, all of that stuff. And that was like 3 months of absolute anxiety and nightmares. It was horrible, absolutely horrible. Everyone was a mod for Jay. Well, I think over the years, yeah, probably. But back then, we were quite a solid little group. And one of the mods got booted, and that was Mandy Bell. And so as a form of revenge, she put out a private messenger chat, which had all of our real names, had photos of some of the mods, with their babies or their kids. And we'd pretty much wake up every day to another video that was put out doxing the fuck out of us. Then there was the whole cunt book saga, which thank fuck I had nothing to do with. In fact, I used to get pissed off about some of the people they were putting on the list. I was like, just because you don't like someone, don't stick them on this list. But yeah, I got given the flick, but I've made some incredibly beautiful friends from that experience. I mean, Shanna and I are super close. And we met because we were OG mods for Jay. But it was really bad. Like, even years later, I'd been booted out. People like Shell, who was a mod for Jay, I don't know if she still is or not. Never met her, never spoke to her. We weren't mods at the same time. But I'd go into some chat somewhere on YouTube and she would just launch into me, oh, her, and just abuse the fuck out of me. And I was like, who the hell are you? I'd never even met you. Like, yeah, Jay didn't like me giving Laura $10 and I got kicked out. And again, best thing that could have happened. But who the fuck is this woman who I've never even spoken to? I know it, but she's just decided I'm an asshole because Jay didn't like me and kicked me out of the mod squad. Like, you shallow fuck. But I mean, it was bullying shit too. It wasn't mild. It was pretty fucking hideous stuff that this chick would say about me, and I'd be like, who the fuck? What the fuck? And some of the original mods were still modding for Jay, and so they were pretty nasty to me as well. But I kind of got it with them because there was a current mod, former mod sort of thing going on. But eventually they all got booted at some point, and then us as a group reconnected. And we used to chat quite a bit. We haven't chatted for a long time, but it's pretty interesting when you start off on a channel and your mods and how the politics of it all. It was all too much for me, really. Like, I am quite happy to never have a wrench again anywhere. I'd certainly never go back into, like, if I was a mod for a channel, I'd never be involved in their chats on Messenger or anything like that. No fucking way. Mm-mm-mm. Same with Discord. Like, I joined a Discord for 5 seconds pretty much, told a story in there saying this isn't for public consumption. And the creator whose Discord it was went live not long after and told the whole fucking story. They were all just hungry for content, and they'll use whatever they can get, and they don't give a fuck about the people they're using. And the story itself wasn't that big a deal, but it was the fact that I shared the story with people thinking it was, just to give them a bit of a laugh, and then suddenly it became the content of a show. Because all it does is it makes the creator more money, but it also reignites all that feuding you've been trying to avoid on YouTube. Suddenly you're in the spotlight again. My first couple of years on YouTube were sorry, guys. My phone overheated because it's a baby. You're still shocked at some of the people that were a mod for Jay. I heard about that recently. Look, she actually had a good. We were a good group at the start. I think. Well, I think. I mean, rather than oh, you gave Laura $10 and you are no longer a mod of mine. Like, just be like, can you not maybe give her $10? And the reason I gave her $10 was she and Makeup Mobster, when I first came to YouTube and found all these communities, they were friends, and then they had a falling out, and they actually used to do some great shit together, and everyone was a bit bummed by it because it was the first sort of split, I guess, that any of us had seen. But all this sort of drama and shit that's happening now, it wasn't always like that. Like, we kind of witnessed the first big falling outs and all that sort of shit. Anyway, they were both really stubborn about it and wouldn't budge. And then one day Laura was doing a live and she actually extended an olive branch to Makeup Mobster. And it was like about fucking time, because it was a bit of a shock to all of us that this sort of very public feud had been going on. And it was conflicting because a lot of us liked them both. And this was, they were very different channels back then too. But anyway, Laura extended an olive branch and I just sent her a little super chat and just said, good on you. No, I wasn't overly connected to them in any way. I mean, there were people that were doing stuff that I was interested in, so I'd be listening to them. Like, it wasn't like they were my BFFs and I was calling them after hours and shit like that. But back then, it was refreshing to see one of them sort of just go, actually, fuck it, stop being so stubborn, just extend an olive branch, move on. And that was why I sent the super chat. Jay didn't like either of them and would talk about their teeth all the time. And that was it. I got booted. But, the drama back then was so rare that when there was a little bit of drama, everyone was just like, wow, what's going on here? 2 people on YouTube fighting? How unusual. And it was. For the most part, everyone just mucked around and had a fucking good time. Oh, my phone overheated. It booted me. But I do need to end this live because I have an office to go to and people to speak to and all that fun stuff. But yeah, there just wasn't the drama that there's been, especially in the last few years, or the scamming and the fake suicides and it just continued to get more and more ridiculous, and then the swattings and CPS, they sort of started with the whole Makeup Mobster Laura early era, like we're talking 2019, people starting to get swatted and Laura having CPS called. But yeah, you look back on that time now, and for the most part, it was just a lot of people bumping around to different channels. Creators used to help grow each other's channels, like they'd do lives to try and get somebody to 1,000 subs, or there's a lot of support. It was just good fun. And when there was a little bit of drama, everyone was like, well, there's going to be a bit of drama. Whereas now it's sort of like, where's a channel in that community that isn't doing some drama? I mean, even I'm kind of doing it now, right? But in 2024, this channel will be good content and good times. And we'll try and do retro YouTube community stuff. Just have lives happening, not just on my channel, but across the board, where people just want to go and have a good time. So lost cause, I know, but I'm remaining optimistic. I have a delicious coffee. But I also have a job to go to. So I will be back sometime soon. I hope Morbid's broken heart heals quickly. I hope nobody receives a dick pic today that they didn't ask for. And if you did ask for it, that's, if that's your jam, go for it. But please don't send me one. I don't care what it looks like. I care about how it makes me feel. Thank you very much. And spread some love out on YouTube too. We've got to get this place back to, being a platform where people want to just go and have fun. They're not scared to chat. They just want to hang out with people, like-minded people. And hopefully in the new year, this channel will be one of those places. But until next time, stay groovy, beautiful people, and I will see you all again very soon, my friends. No, sorry, that's the glare. I will see you soon, my friends. I will see you, beautiful people, very, very soon. I hope. If not, Wednesday night, batshit, 8:30 Australian Eastern Standard Time. Be there or be batshit. Bye for now.